All right. So welcome back to Slowboat to Alpha Centauri. It's been a while in the real world and if I upload this, it probably won't be. Yes, we've been literally just rowing through the hard vacuum of space. And it's hard going.
Really slowly. Like that's the other thing about vacuum that people don't understand. It's actually it's a slow burn. it's
Can
not
our
immediate
spaceship
at all.
have oars? And it's actually we're just going through space.
That is the dramatic revelation for a later session. Can we try and remember? So we had one setup game and one actual session, and can we try to remember? We ended in a bit of a cliffhanger. Can we try to remember what happened there?
So if I take a look at our notes, session notes, meeting and rumors, session 1 rumors.
That was the
That was the setup
thing.
Yeah. So here's what I remember.
You have a thing where you get 2 rumors.
Here's what I remember. I was going for the power node. Can you swap over to the map, please?
Maps would be good.
Boop.
So, yes. So
You have an attack.
so it,
Baby
What?
Rabbit is not actually in the airlock.
That's right.
It's
I keep
fine.
forgetting about the map. Yeah, because you guys were assholes and decided to try and kill the baby rabbit.
That's
and
right.
I'm still
We did try
upset,
to
by the
kill
way. Contain, kill.
Yes. Brian, continue.
So I was leading a personal expedition to the dead power node to try to get warehouse space. No, I was leading an expedition to try to get warehouse space for the merchants. At the meantime, the paladins were trying to reactivate a dead power node. It turns out that Cat's minor character, Baby Rabbit, caused airlocks to open across the ship, endangering her faction, the paladins. To be very clear, everything that has gone wrong for Cat is because of other Cat.
I am continuing the tradition of being my worst enemy. My own worst enemy. It's just like uniquely in this game, they are actually 2 different characters. I was just like, decided just to mess it up a bit. That's all.
And
The merchant Victor briefly came out to the airlock and then noped back because of an attack of rabbits and an attack of hard
Bunnies.
vacuum.
I noped back because I got trapped in the airlock and we couldn't open the door again. And then I was
Yeah.
just like, well, I have tinkering I need to do.
And so we're in the middle of being zoomed into 2 different scenarios.
Which are,
I believe it
in fact,
was-
converged. Those 2
Yes,
scenarios.
because it was on my way back was when the airlocks opened. I knowledged my way to have an oxygen mask on, and then we faded to black.
Yep. So I will note that this game, as many other story-ish games, have like at the beginning of session, at the end of session moves, but I think they are at the end of the scenario. And end of the scenario, like it doesn't make sense to do it now. It's once we deal with the cliffhanger bits, which are the paladins getting sucked into the space, or
So get 5 more knowledge.
yes. So, the Enforcers of Harmony, or do you want to just replace them to Paladins of Harmony or something? Because that's how we keep referring to them.
Yes.
Sure. The Paladins of Harmony.
Hmm.
The Paladins of Bunnies.
Well, the Paladins of the Bunnies are like opposing factions at this point.
Oh no, this is the Paladins of Alice because everyone's named Alice.
That's right. No, it's just my generation. Just like us
So
rulers.
this is so the faction has turned into Alice Bunny.
So the situation was the Paladins of Harmony had captured a power node, and then a door opened somewhere, far away from them. But because to be clear, it's not like suddenly a bulk door opens and there's just space on the other side, because that would be very explosive,
That would be very dangerous.
very quick.
Yes.
No, it's some distance away. Such a door opened, and so the paladins are getting sucked into the dark corridors along with the air. And the what's his name, Victor Alcasta, walks in on the scene of the paladins being led by Iles, trying to force the local door shut to prevent the air escaping. So let us see how that goes, shall we? And also, I assume the rabbit is around, or maybe in Victor's Tamagotchi.
The bunny rabbit is trapped in an airlock. Where actual rabbit is, I think you just went back to looking for the warehouse.
Yeah, actual rabbit is still continuing to the warehouse, but a different rabbit. Well, remember, rabbits are threaded, so a different rabbit can certainly be around.
Rabbits are threaded. Yes.
Yes.
I forgot where we got up to with the rabbit. With Bunny, sorry.
I don't think Bunny was actually. No. Bunny's not trapped at all.
Bunny and Rabbit are now continuing on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They resolved their differences for now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I remember this conversation.
Yeah. Yes. It was very sad.
It wasn't sad. They resolved their
it wasn't
differences.
sad. It was successful. They cooperated, Kat. That's the opposite of sad. Kat, just because you're your worst enemy doesn't mean that you also have to timeshare other worst enemies.
I don't know. I was pretty sure that's exactly how that worked, but I guess we'll find out. All right, so, scene.
So-
where are we starting? Okay, rumors.
No. Katishka,
No.
tell me, how does Alice and her fellow paladins deal with the sudden rush of air?
Once more into the breach, dear.
I mean, you really don't want to go into that breach. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, so sudden rush of air. Like, surely there are protection mechanisms around somewhere on this freaking slow boat into nowhere. Like, we are literally on a spaceship, right? So, what
Yeah,
are
someone
the
just
emergency
disabled all of
procedures?
them. Someone
Well,
just
obviously.
brute forced doors to open.
All right.
I resemble that.
Can we brute force doors to close? We have a lot of strength and not a lot of brains. This is my problem, is that I suspect that that's what they would do.
Okay.
Is there
So, yeah,
something large that we can put in front of the vacuum to seal the door?
Well, so I think this would potentially be your character being at the forefront of this and being the first to respond and like rallying the troops. You would be diffusing the situation. That's the name of the move, right?
Sure.
And you're saying you want to put something large in front of it, just to block it at least somewhat.
Yes. 'Cause
Like, it won't be
can't-
perfect, but it'd be a start.
Yeah, we need something to at least give us a start. Yes.
Yeah. And you are relying on endurance or quick action, I'm assuming.
I assume so.
That seems like
it's gonna
physical
have to be
exert-
pretty quick.
Yes. So it's plus skill.
Oh, that's right. I should actually open up my Alice with the Blade.
Well, yeah, physical exertion would also work. So either force or skill. I'm not too picky.
Well, I have force.
Okay.
So,
Right, so
normal roll
Alice
plus four.
literally just starts pushing a... What are you pushing?
A giant spool of cable. Like, it's a thread bobbin.
That we just have around.
Like,
Well, no,
this
it's a dead
shit
power
that's
node,
hanging
right? So
around
it
the
has
power
all
node.
of the
Like, this
like,
is
you know how you
exactly
just have a
right.
whole bunch of extra cords? We have a giant ball of them through
Yeah,
the entire
yeah.
ship that we're just clogging this hole.
Yep, it is the collected
Okay,
dead cords of
okay. What's it? I one more point of order question though.
Sure.
the... No.
The power node, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is here. So it's not right next to the edge of the ship, right? So
It's a 3D ship. Okay.
Yes,
I,
it's
I understand that.
Sorry, go on.
But it looks to me, depending on where you sort of like, is it actually right on the edge of the ship, or are there like other rooms?
No.
So I would
this-
definitely say that first, you have very little idea because you are trapped inside of the ship and you don't yet have a proper map of everything. That would be one of the objectives. This is a side view of the ship, so you don't know how
I
close
guess
this.
what I'm saying is
But
is that door that we've got there actually opening up directly into
No.
space?
Number
Or is it
two-
opening up into another room.
It is opening up
It's
into
opening
another
up into a
corridor.
maze of passages.
Which is
what I'm saying.
open-
It's like, if that's a vacuum of space, then that's a different plan to if that's just the next room because all the doors have opened up to the vacuum of space, right?
The vacuum of space is some distance away down the maze of passages.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, cool. Because I was getting the impression that, like, literally doors have opened, there's stars. So that's a different plan.
No, that would probably be what you hold on to as the thing explosively decompresses.
Yes.
But no, that's not what we're doing.
Okay.
I'm not that mean to just do that to you in the first session.
No, all your characters are out the window.
I did actually think that's what happened. So.
Okay.
Doors open, your characters die.
Basically, yeah. All right, so then yes, we are pushing a massive spool of something towards that door.
Cool. Would you like to make the diffuse roll then, which would be regular roll plus force in this case?
So normal.
Yep.
With. So 1 or 2.
1.
1.
Well, whatever your force is.
Did that work?
And,
7.
7 is you bought some time, but choose one. There is a cost to securing safety. The danger will soon return. The danger is still present, but threatening someone or something else.
Yeah, that sounds pretty legit considering how we just fixed the hole in the wall. Like,
Yep. So which one do you choose?
Pardon?
Which of the 3 options do you choose?
Oh,
There's
the
a
threat will
cost.
Certainly.
The threat will soon return. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the threat will certainly return.
Okay.
Like, we literally
So,
just tried to plug a hole with a spool of thread.
And I think, by the way, the thread, the spool is it's unspooling and just being noodled out into space.
My resources.
No. Like I imagine, like it's this horrible tangled up thread, and the vacuum's actually pulling it straight.
Yep.
And like someone below's like, oh wow, it's untangled. Let's quickly spool it up.
That's amazing. I'm down with that. That's fantastic.
Okay, so you've
Five
bought
more
yourself
dead wires.
a few minutes, and while
Get
there
all that
is
short done in like 15 minutes. It's great. This would have taken us 2 years.
while the air
Our
is still
life's work
escaping.
finally complete.
Yeah, well, the air is still escaping through the many gaps, because it's a spool of cable. It's not a solid block of iron.
Yeah, that would have been smarter.
You have a few minutes, which is where Victor Alcaster shows up.
Yep.
Okay.
And Victor is essentially going to find the closest either like door control panel or like just main hub to try and like hack it, or not necessarily hack it, but just like override this whatever is causing these doors to open and cause them to close.
Certainly.
Yep.
Okay. So while I assume the paladins are rushing around, just throwing things at the open door.
Yeah,
Hoping
trying to
that
deal with
they
the immediate
stick.
thing. I'm trying to actually solve. They're trying to make sure that we survive.
Yeah. For sake of argument, let's say that Rabbit is within Tamagotchi range. Like
Sure.
the other expedition is in network connectivity. So I'm around if you need to call for aid.
Cool.
Are we anywhere near a terminal?
Yes. It's a ship. There are plenty of terminals.
Okay.
So would this be unleash power, where I'm trying to activate a device of ship technology?
I think it's
try to
probably diffuse again. It's just you're using a
diffuse
different
again.
approach.
Improvised technology.
Or remembered information. I'm remembering how to
Yep.
get everything to
Yeah,
work.
improvised technology is, I think, a perfect description of this. Like, you've never had to urgently slam down doors, but...
Correct.
So it'll be
Just
plus
going to be-
law.
+2. Submit. Go my dice.
All right.
8.
So here's the question, Glycan. Do you
Yes.
want to possibly risk that to go up a level
Right, with Bunny's help.
with
Well-
Bunny's help?
Right,
Because
so...
you're in the bad place where it either becomes significantly... No, the
Not
other...
the bunny, the other bunny.
Not bounce. Bounce.
Right, because if you're not satisfied with the quality of your roll, you can call for aid, and someone else who is around and can continually help rolls and potentially increases or decreases the result of your roll.
Yeah.
So that because an 8 is just we bought more
Kicking the
time,
can,
we still have
yes.
room. So
I mean, on the other... Yeah.
Well, I
on the
would
other hand,
suggest you would choose a different option out of the two, because we've already had bought more time. It's not that interesting.
Yeah.
well, a 7 through 9 on a 7 through 9 you've bought time, but choose one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would
And
suggest
so
it's not
we've
danger will
already
soon
used
return.
danger will soon return, so you'd have to use something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's your call whether or not you plug in the Tamagotchi and like try to feed the door.
And what happens if you fail?
Then it goes to a 6, and we're in real bad shape.
How
Then
does it
I get to make a move.
So what we can do is we can like there's an obvious backstory advantage here of
Right.
I was the one who messed up the door
Yes.
controllers in the first place. So you plug me in and you just say fix it.
Yeah, that
As
would
if
make
it wasn't
sense.
you that broke the door controllers in the first place.
It was the little bunny rabbit. It was your situation.
It was my situation.
Yeah, I will ping you saying like, okay, I got into the door mainframe. I'm able to close them, but not permanently. Can
Yeah,
you
can
keep
you
them
reset
closed?
the system proper? Yep.
Tamagotchi Online?
Boop boop. And it's like one of those little plastic buttons that you actually have to press, and it dispenses a virtual food pellet. And like, there's this animation of a food pellet going into the systems.
Oh God.
Okay. Yep.
All right, I'm rolling with advantage, but with an applicable stat 0.
So why are you rolling with advantage?
Because in Call for Aid, if the helper has relevant backstory with you, they take advantage on the roll.
Okay. And what is your relevant backstory? Let's talk through this.
He plugged in the Tamagotchi, and
That's-
I'm like,
That's not the backstory.
oh, so no, the backstory is I was in the situation that caused the door controllers to go into opposite land.
And therefore,
So-
you're familiar with the technology.
Right.
Like,
to...
it is
Sure.
It
So
is
I
a
think
continuation.
Yeah, I think in general it literally refers to that bit of backstory you chose as character creation, but in this case, fine.
Oh, I mean, and like we can also talk about ship daemons and whatnot, but like this seems like a really obvious
Sure.
thing.
Roll it.
But plus 0? I can't. Yeah, it looks like it's plus 0. No, the helper says how they do it and rolls an appropriate stat.
Let me guess, you roll plus law.
No.
No.
I am taking that food pellet he dispensed and trying to bribe the door controller AI. And I'm giving them the food pellet and going,
Very good.
can you restart? I'm trying to sway.
Sure. Roll it.
Restart, please. You can have food pellet.
Okay. So that is an 11.
Yeah.
And they share in your move's consequences. No. On the hit, increase your result by 1 category. Very, very simple. So the door AI turns into a like tiny ASCII buddy and accepts the pellet.
And then bounces and turns off the door. Or hands over the control of the door.
Then, literally, there's like a ASCII drawing of a door, and the rabbit bounces on it a few times and just slams it down.
And the doors move from fault mode to normal mode and go, oh, we should close now. And then they close.
Yeah. So there's a sound of several heavy doors slamming down the corridor, and the rush of air stops.
Yay!
Congratulations, crisis solved.
Yay.
And it only took one baby bunny. Yay!
To cause it.
I solved the problem. I'm going to take all the glory. Thank you.
Okay. 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 Not. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I agree. I'm not. Yep.
You have no hesitation. That's fine.
I pick my battles, Cat, and I know you. So you know what? This is your win.
Absolutely. Okay. So the crisis is averted. The Paladins of Harmony have acquired themselves a power node and thus have a surplus of energy, which I think we already wrote down.
Yeah.
And okay, I think now
Do I have a surplus of energy?
it is in your
Yes,
character sheet.
because we decided that we weren't going to treat this like a minor artifact. That this is just a surplus granting thing.
Yep.
Yeah, but I thought we. Where the hell is my things? Oh, that's Alice's. I keep forgetting. There's 2 character sheets.
2 character sheets, soon to be 50.
Actually, 3 character sheets.
Maintenance. There we go.
Yeah.
Maintenance collective. Okay. Perfect. All right.
This is the game of character sheets.
Why
I
is
love
the?
it.
Oh no, that's the maintenance collective. I don't want the maintenance.
Yes, you are not the maintenance collective.
I am
Cat.
not the I am not.
Even,
gonna get
even
into
though
it.
you do seem to identify as Bunny more than Alice.
Enforcers of Harmony. See, it just doesn't sound right coming off my tongue, but that's fine.
All right, so Kat, tell us what your
Yes,
actual.
surplus.
So inside your faction, what do you know yourselves as? Because clearly you're not the enforcers. Of
Well, they're Paladins of Harmony. Done.
I was
Easy.
gonna say we're the Paladins of Harmony, yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
and light, and all things that are good in the world.
Uh-huh.
Which is
And
why I've got this
smashing.
whistle. And smashing, which is really important.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got surplus of secrets, security, and energy. We need more space, recruits, engineering, and oxygen. Can I say we don't need oxygen anymore?
You lost some. That generally doesn't help with having extra.
No, but the crisis is over.
We are no longer losing more. We
No.
still have less.
I need,
So, generally speaking,
do
you...
I have a need for oxygen anymore?
Ye-
Now that
yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm just
We
saying.
have a
We're not
limited amount
losing
of
into the vacuum
oxygen
space
on this
anymore.
ship.
And we just lost about 4 years worth. All right.
Yeah,
that's fine.
future problems. Not
Future
our
problems.
generation. They'll have
Exactly.
So, I think
All right.
having resolved the immediate crisis, we can actually have the end of session and beginning of session checklist.
So have we resolved Bunny? Like my expedition? Because that was a zoom. Well, it was.
Right.
It was kind of zoomed in, and we weren't really clear about. So actually, before we do that, how about we execute zoom out? Because this is, I think, what we're doing.
Okay. Zoom out. Let us find the appropriate move. Zoom out. When you skip forward in time to cover family actions over weeks and months. Okay, so this will be the Paladins consolidating their hold on
so
the
the
power
paladins
node.
consolidating, and we have an idea of how the bunny is bouncing around, and there's no real
And the
risk.
maintenance collective is
Yeah.
going forward to get the warehouse.
Yeah.
and we'll find out what the puppeteers of trade
So
do.
basically, what am I doing in this time is
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yeah. So each player says what their main character does during the time their family is occupied in a short montage. Either they accomplish something on their own, mark off a drive and say what you achieved, or they found a sector in the unexplored sector of the ship and a surplus it may provide, which is what Brian is doing.
Yep.
Or they discovered a new threat, say what it is and who it is threatening. Or they helped out another family or faction if they agree, gain one treaty on them, and they get a fleeting advantage. So we are zooming out, and let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Brian.
I'm going to look at my...
Yep. So by dint of recursive tree algorithms, bunnies spread and find the route, a safe route to the empty water tank, and so I'm not going to go into like the trading for the water tank, but we definitely have our own. Actually, no, because this was for the meeting.
Yeah, this was you getting the goal for our warehouses.
So then what I'm going to say is the maintenance collective successfully transfers all of the resources from the
Expedition?
no. So there's the water tank that we're going to, and then there's the data node that they don't know about that they're in. So we very helpfully move all of their supplies to the much better warehouse with shelves and forklifts and everything. And we go, so you're not really using this space. Could we borrow it for a bit?
Sounds like a really easy way to get a water tank. I like how you guys are basically going to win because you're effectively like the only people that know basic kind of your like social anything. It's like you like everybody else is like as far as I can tell, my entire faction is just smashing their heads against walls like at every possible opportunity.
Meanwhile,
I mean, Kat, to be fair, I think we are quite accurate representations of our own selves.
Oh, really? Is that where we're going with this?
I'm being super essentialist and channeling Herrick. But
Alice is doing a very good job of not having holes in things, thank you. And we've actually got a power source, which I think is pretty awesome for some paladins that didn't know much about the world.
You have achieved something, Kat.
So much sass.
So, puppeteers of trade. Is it okay if we make this exchange?
Don't let him do anything. Just shut it down at this point.
Because we were looking, like, the whole point of this expedition was for us to find, or like to expand our warehouse space.
Yes.
And so if you found it and we can expand into it, like, giving up the previous warehouse space just kind of ends us up back where we were.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is that the previous warehouse space isn't really well suited to be in a warehouse. What we can do is we can transform the top of it into a storefront for you, so that you can still operate out of it and use it as a distribution point. But all of the blocky stuff underneath isn't your problem anymore.
But we can still have that.
It's a
in our old warehouse.
Absolutely. We just need to fix some of the blocky stuff. It'll be a lot more useful to us.
Don't you just live in... What were you going to use it for? Warehouse space.
No, actually, you're sitting on some of our old servers. Better turned off.
We can do this exchange. We can get us.
We don't need the space between the servers.
Yeah.
We just need the servers.
The servers. This box was on your computer.
In the computer.
Yeah, we can move our stuff to an official node/marketplace, and you can have access to your servers that our boxes were sitting on.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have no idea where this note was, like, because this was somewhere, except that I don't actually remember where we wrote down.
I don't think we ever chose where this warehouse place was going to be. I assume it would either be
your original warehouse. Was this like one of your backstory things, or
our original warehouse
would have been in the city?
Yeah, it's in Luque, but I'm trying to figure out where we wrote down the fact that you were sitting on some of our stuff.
This is the first time hearing of that, so I assume you just made it up.
Kat, I seem to be channeling you. Please stop.
Bounce. You've basically adopted buddy.
Right.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that that's not necessarily a great idea, but we can roll with it. Let's see what happens.
Right. So I'm gonna go figure out what the hell what's going on with me. You two figure out what you've achieved.
Well, okay. So Brian,
yes.
What you did, it sounds like you did a favor for another faction. You gain 1 treaty on them, and they get a fleeting advantage, right?
Yes, because we don't benefit from the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we resolved the meeting objective. So yes, we get so the maintenance collective gets treaty on
the puppeteers.
Puppeteers.
Puppeteers get 1 fleeting advantage, which is
what does 1 fleeting advantage?
Just next time puppeteers roll, they have an advantage.
Cool.
Because they have this extra stuff.
So,
Kat.
Yes.
Do you know what you are doing in your zoom out?
Well, I think I would like to start using this session to focus on our population issue, actually, and to have a fairly significant recruitment drive, because I think that of all the issues that are facing for us at the moment, just being able to man things is actually a big problem for us. We have a big need for recruits.
So, if they accomplish something on their own mark of a drive, they found a sector and explored sector of the ship and a surplus it may provide. So, do you want to say that there were more sleepers? That you found another row of frozen people that were heavily sleeping on their way to Alpha Centauri, and then you went, we need them. Wake up. Because that's the only way I can easily see this happening. Feel free to describe otherwise. But, yeah.
If that is actually a thing, then they're just not going to and revolt because they've been awakened from their sleep, and now they're just really pissed off and going to.
They might be pissed off.
That are now going to come and kill us.
Well, so again, I'll show to players the story moves. Yes, look at the zoom out options.
Yeah. So, like, Kat, you can totally be you and say that you've just threat.
So, yes, if you want to deal with the lack of recruits, you have to say how you found them in an unexplored sector, and the only way I can see that is
by just finding them, literally just finding them. We were fixing up the power thing, coming back from that whole vacuum into space thing.
Right.
And as we were tidying and as we were doing, somebody accidentally knocked over this little door, and it opened up into this massive freaking warehouse. It's pretty significant, and it is full of people, legit full of people. And most of their sleeping chambers are actually still intact. There's a couple of odd dead bodies because
we can even
along the way. But the vast majority of them are definitely alive. And it looks like a really cool place to actually set up a new set of barracks. So,
awesome. We can even be slightly nice about this, and say that it's not that you went there and just pushed all the buttons to wake them up.
Are you sure? Like,
it's as soon as you fixed the power node, the wake up procedure started.
Yeah, because the pods finally are out of him.
Yeah. Okay, yep.
Yes, it's not. You're not just being a terrible person.
No.
You're not only being a terrible person. Get it right.
Being a terrible person. Yep. That's exactly right. All right. Perfect. Awesome.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So you can remove the need for recruits. Then.
How about the need for space?
Either or. Well, either you have a lot of extra people to house, and you house them in that space.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so remove the need for recruits. That's all right. So
Which
that means
increases your
better,
mood.
doesn't it?
Correct.
So we're now -1.
And glycan.
So I was going to use the action of mark off a drive. And what I was going to do was the spread knowledge to the masses, which is essentially going to mean I figured that Victor could be working on tinkering this device for the Paladins of Harmony, which was discussed in the meeting. That essentially is a device that gives knowledge that helps understand knowledge. I call it the General Understanding Generation Liaison, also known as Google. Basically what you do is you type in what you're trying to figure out or what you need to know, and it just pops back the information to you.
Because what it actually does is it sends a chat message to one of your faction, and you quickly look it up.
How do I spell liaison? Why did
liaison?
Liaison.
L-I-A-I.
Liaison. L-I-A-I. Liaison.
So, do we get anything from this meeting, like fulfilling the actual objective?
No, but that's how you get treaties.
Right.
It's there to push you in various directions for that age.
Yeah, it's to give you drive for what you're doing.
Yeah. So the enforcers completely failed to find any saboteur.
Well, so far.
But
we're not done with the age. Yeah.
Correct. You can absolutely mark off that drive.
Perfect. And also, now that I have a warehouse, do I still have a need for space?
That is a good point. No, I guess not. That's what the Maintenance Collective got a treaty on you for. And considering one treaty is more or less equal to one surplus, it is perfectly fair.
Lack of need.
So you no longer need space, and your mood goes up. Awesome.
And my which goes up?
Mood. Because mood is number of surpluses.
Oh, yeah, because mood is that.
Yep.
Yes. Yay, I'm happy.
Okay. So now
Careful.
we can do the session checklist for beginnings and endings, because we got to
endings and beginnings. Yes.
Yes. End of session. Each character mark drives, and then with the session mark any drive you achieved in play.
What? Okay. So what the hell was Vibin doing?
Yeah. Mr. Rabbit. Guide your family to the area of the ship, clearly.
Yep, okay.
Like, that's 100% fitting.
Yep. And then... I'm just trying to figure out how to... So I'm going to bold them and strike them out, because otherwise I can't bloody see them.
Sure.
And so it's mark 1 drive?
Any drives you achieved. It's just, hey, check if you've done something.
I'm going to say breach system security. What would that door fiasco?
Did you do that, or was that Bunny? Like, you're not Bunny.
I wouldn't say you breached the security. I say you reestablished the security.
Okay. I'm done then.
Okay. Alice of the Blade, have you done any of your drives?
Stand and fight when you should run. Stand in defense of something others value. Use martial prowess to change someone's mind. Like, I'm not seeing a lot of this. Protect an enemy from harm.
Leader coordinated assault with others. You went and captured this power node.
That's true.
Yeah, mark that.
Okay.
And Victor.
I spread knowledge to the masses from the zoom out.
Yep.
So the only other one.
Mark that.
Yep.
Yep.
That one has been marked. The only other ones I can think of. Let's see. Didn't do that. Didn't do that. Didn't do that. The only other thing I can think of is learn something from an unexpected source. That by finding Baby Rabbit, I've learned that Bunny is not the only AI out there like we expected there was, and that there's actually
that there's an actual collective of us.
Yes.
Yep. That is a good fit. Yep. Mark it, and that will be your third drive marked. So you choose to either add +1 to a stat or gain a new move.
Okay. That will be. Come back to me.
Yes. Okay. You take a look, and then we do start of session things.
Wait. Would it be lead and coordinated assault with others, or infiltrate and secure a group or location?
I think lead. Infiltrate implies you're using some amount of subterfuge.
Infiltrate implies subtlety.
Okay.
Infiltrate implies distinctly non-cat activities.
Okay.
Sorry, too true.
Contribute to research. At the beginning of session, you may set aside surpluses to be used for research this session. Gain 1 data for each such surplus you set aside. It cannot be used for any other use or benefit until the end of session.
All right. So like data seems like it's important.
Data is spendable to do the reveal.
Yes. So I have a doctrine, commonality matrix. When your family works on a grand project with others, you may spend 1 data per family involved to manufacture 1 tech per data spent. So it looks like I definitely need data for that.
Yep.
But I don't see what else I need data for.
Reveal research is a common move that every family has, which is spend 1 data and say 1 thing you found out, which kind of coalesces the abstract data into a specific fact.
Now, were we going to be doing anything with that power node as a wonder equivalent?
No.
Okay. Okay. Then I shall... So what happens if I invest my surpluses? Like, how else do I use my surpluses?
So if there is a need, a thing you can use the surpluses for, you can spend them to resolve a crisis. Resolve or mitigate.
Right.
The other way you use them is they contribute to your mood.
So if I spend them, my mood drops to -3?
Which is not great, because if it goes to -4, you fall into a crisis.
Right. So I'm going to use my knowledge. I'm going to lock away. So this is session 2 lock.
Sure.
To gain 1 data.
Okay.
Done.
Okay, so you already have the data, but your knowledge is locked for this session. Cool. Would any other family like to do similar? You don't have to.
No, I think we're going to be all right.
Okay, Glycan?
Hold up. What is it that was just done. I was reading. I was
okay. You know what? You finish leveling up. We'll get back to you. Cat, under our protection is one of the enforcer's things. At the beginning of each session, your family patrols in the city learn 2 rumors of impending problems to 2 other families. I wonder which 2 other families. Let them down. Yes. You say one of them...
note that these don't have to be PC families. Hint, comma, hint.
Yes. You say one of them, and GM says the other. If you take care of these problems yourselves, gain 1 treaty on the families impacted. So, who is in trouble this session? And how are they in trouble? Pick one.
Okay, I'm gonna need to send a couple of DMs for this one.
Okay. Well, would you like me to go first?
No, I think notes.
I will say.
So, Kat, would you like me to go first? And I think this will preempt some of the DMs. GMs, yes.
No, it won't. But I want to say that my
the
problem.
rumors are public.
Yeah, these are
No,
rumors.
No. You don't understand what I'm implying. It's okay. So the Throng of Pleasure has a problem.
Okay.
And it's that their water supply has been tainted, and they're not sure how.
Okay.
Because the other note is that these rumors aren't necessarily true. They are just rumors.
Yeah.
They could be true.
And OGM?
Yes. Well, okay, I will say that the Maintenance Collective has an issue in that people's personal devices just have bunnies pop up on them and ruin them entirely. There's this, basically the bug that we've had in the first session, it is spreading and just nothing works. Yep. People try to look at their watch and there's like a bunny hopping back and forth on it. It's not great.
Bounce.
Fuck you all? I mean, just...
Bounce.
Seriously, fuck you all.
And like what's worse, people try to, send messages to each other and then the chat starts talking back to them. Mostly saying bounce. It's a bit disconcerting.
Fuck.
I was gonna say one of these rumors better be like there's these bunnies showing up.
Okay.
So that was our start of session rumors.
I just have to roll for my knowledge for the session. Also, I did take the ability Always Learning for my getting 3 drives, which is when play zooms out, I can choose to gain 2 knowledge.
Cool.
So you have a remarkable amount of this knowledge stuff.
It goes away every time we end a session.
It's not data, it's his own resource.
It's my own smart. Which also brings up my question of, are we doing kind of like what we did before, where a session is not necessarily...
I do not think we will finish this session in one remaining hour.
It is
no,
major points.
It's 1 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will start like halfway through this session.
Okay, so it's not roll for this knowledge and then use all this knowledge immediately.
Yes. And hopefully it will be less than, 6 weeks between the sessions this time?
So I need to roll a lore check. Okay.
Okay. Well, so we have our few ongoing Chrysai.
So I have 3 knowledge this session.
Chrysai. I like that we're actually getting to the point where we need the plural of crisis.
I don't think that is actually the correct plural of crisis, but...
It is not.
I don't care, we are rolling with it.
Yeah, we are absolutely rolling with
it. Let's be clear. We now have multiple... We now are in a situation of cat.
Well, no, I think it's cat 1, cat 2, cat 3.
Like, we are...
It's a catastrophe.
No.
That's what I'm here for.
Yep.
All right.
Well, so looking at the stuff we learned from the family meeting at the session 0, the first couple of things have actually been fulfilled, I think. As in so we can cross them out. These were the plans for this age, and that is nice.
All right, so I'll do that.
We can do our own thing.
That's okay, I'm doing it.
I led an expedition to secure and bring online the dead power node. I did that!
Yes!
Done!
Yes!
Yes, you did a thing.
Actually achieved an objective! Oh my god! And not just one because I decided to do it, one that was actually stated and written down somewhere.
Oh, that reminds me.
I'm so happy.
Since we all achieved the family objectives, that means we all get one treaty on that family, and our next rules are beneficial. Or our next one roll is beneficial.
No, because no, because basically I did a zoom out and I helped you rather than gaining a resource myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a specific thing to that.
Oh, okay, that's the thing that happened. Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't because the family.
No.
Objective. It was the family move. Got you. Figured it out.
I mean,
I understand.
It's all up for interpretation. It's all slightly wibbly wobbly how things interact. But okay, who would like to tell me what their family is currently doing?
Me.
Okay. Well, you volunteered.
So I'm going to do.
Bounce.
We are fixing the bouncing bunny problem.
Okay.
So specific. I mean, no, actually. So, but when I say fixing the bouncing bunny problem, we're updating the chat apps so that the bouncing bunnies don't appear. This is called taking on technical debt. Yes, it is fixed.
You can't see the problem anymore. It's totally fixed. You can tell because it's not on your screen now. There is no bunny here. Everything is fine.
So, when your family must resist hardship, temptation, or infighting, you're holding together. In which case, you roll plus mood, which you just dumped to -3. So good job on that part.
-2.
Okay. So, would you like to roll?
No. Is there? All right. So is there a better way of?
Well, because this is what you described, right? You're just trying to patch over things and not having fighting. It's fine.
So, all right. Like it. What happens when I fail? Because this is.
I get to make a move.
You lose people.
No. That's on a hit. On a hit, this is the cost you pay to hold together.
Awesome. All right. But I can ask for helps. I'm pretty sure.
If you explain how other people can help you.
The Paladins are totally going to come and help with the bunny problem. We are really
Smash
good.
all the computers. Smash every chat room. Every time a chat room says bounce, smash.
Our friend programmers in the Merchant Collective get a message basically saying, hey, could you help us patch this? Bounce, please, this is awful. So I'm asking for a lend aid.
Okay. When your family throws its weight behind another roll plus treaty with them on a hit to give that family fleeting advantage. Right. Well, because most people are having issue with their consumer devices, it makes perfect sense for the trade collective, properties of trade.
Merchants.
Yes, to go, we'll refurbish that for you. We'll set up, data centers.
Yeah.
So, Glycan.
Your ticket has been noted.
Meanwhile, the Paladins are like completely into
So
this
I will
new body
note-
theme. They're just like, this is amazing. Like, I didn't even realize our computer could do this. But also, can we have our chat back, please?
Can we stop?
Of note, however, enhance works again.
Enhance totally works again, which is really amazing. But it's bunny themed now. They're like, oh, is that what happened?
It just enhances the bunny occasionally. So, Glycan, the Maintenance Collective, or I assume basically Mr. Rabbit, is asking your family to lend aid. I will note that he is not currently calling in a debt, which is the thing he can do by spending treaty and going, well, no, you owe us, do this for us. He's just asking you to do this out of the goodness of your heart. The reason not to do this would be that you if you roll poorly, you expose your family to danger.
Right. And right now, I know that our family is like our family's main objective is moving things into our new warehouse, getting shops set up.
You are in the process of that. That's probably not a massive undertaking. Like it's a thing you're doing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, essentially, there's that. So like, our family hasn't even probably necessarily even encountered much of the issue. Because we had most of our like distractions have been physical distractions or less
so
on.
It's not an issue for you, but people are complaining. Just actual population of Luke is
and like the subtext of the request is we need a face. Like basically it's we need to have you be the public face of tech support, and we're trying to avoid revealing ourselves is the actual subtext here.
Yeah.
So I think the puppeteers.
So it is actually asking for a favor. It's not.
Right.
But it's not yet.
Do the maintenance the puppeteers of trade actually understand that the maintenance collective aren't real?
Victor
They don't know either. Just Victor.
Just Victor.
Okay,
Just Victor. Yeah. And like, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Everyone else thinks that the systems are just being shit.
Yeah.
That's code rot.
And that's where it kind of gets the split of just like, if this were like something where like Bunny would be coming to, or Mr. Rabbit comes to Victor, it'd be a different thing. But the puppeteers as a family are less tech savvy than Victor himself, so they're more like, we're trying to get our merchants up. I don't think they would actually hop on to the assistance.
Poop.
Well,
is my response.
Can call in a debt.
I think they're just like, this is a tech issue. Most of us are not tech people. We're not going to get ourselves into
Fair.
trying to get ourselves in there.
All right. In that case, I'm going to use a point of technology. Because I can't afford this.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend 1 point of technology to gain advantage. And what I'm going to do is turn on the debuggers.
Where does it talk about spending tech for advantage?
Family moves,
Yep.
tech and data moves, power up. When you make use of the ship's technology to aid your family's actions, say how and spend a point of tech to give a roll advantage.
Cool. Yep, that makes sense.
So it's like, because,
Yep. By all means, spend.
And I'm at
tech.
-2. Yep, done that, and advantage at -2.
Roll it.
Fine. Fine.
Could be worse.
Could be.
Okay.
Good job, you got that advantage, or else that would be a 2.
Yeah.
Potentially. Okay. So, hold together, pick one. You either lose people to harm and/or desertion, get need recruits.
Oh.
Another family or faction came through to help you, give them one treaty on you. Or the danger hasn't passed so much has shifted into something more manageable, say what it is.
The danger hasn't passed, right?
Okay.
So I start out by trying to paper over it, and the bunnies are really interested. And so what this is me explaining.
I'm not even sure how we broke Cat this time.
How do I keep breaking you?
You said the word bunnies, and therefore
we're trying to paint over it, and the bunnies are really interested. It's just like, ooh, oh, you don't want us to be on the front screen. Oh, that's interesting. Like, are you sure though? Because that was really fun. Oh, why are you doing that? Why are you stopping me from being on the front screen?
And so basically, there's an agreement that of the family that the Tamagotchis need to be a little bit more self-aware, and so.
Oh, my childhood. These Tamagotchis need to be more self-aware.
Yeah.
Feed yourselves.
Basically, the deal is that I'm going to spend more time. I'm going to spend my time building an Eliza-style chatbot for the bunnies to interact with, so that the Tamagotchis are real pets and they have an Eliza-style chatbot. So that like there's this.
Can I suggest a slightly different thing? Because this then just mostly solves it, like bunnies talking to chatbot. No, you rebrand bunnies
No.
as personal assistants.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is that I'm putting a shell of a chatbot, but it's actually going to be the bunnies talking to humans.
Right.
So it's still a problem because we have unfiltered bunny talking to human, and I have to deploy a bunny to human interface while remaining anonymous. So it's still very much a danger.
Yep. But for now, like
but the
software works again.
The software works again, and I now have time that I can actually figure out.
Cool. That makes perfect sense. And cool. So that is what the maintenance collective, or Mr. Rabbit, is up to currently.
Yep.
Glycan, would you like to tell us what the puppeteers of trade are doing? Moving in, setting up shop?
Yeah, for the most part, they're moving in, setting up shop, trying to get their own. Do we have a?
So the problem, kind of, that I see here is this warehouse is very much outside the city.
Right.
So this is the back road.
Do we have a
store.
node on our map for like? Is the
Not
warehouse
yet.
a whole
Put
node,
it-
or is it?
Sure, put it, I think, adjacent to the Paladin's power node, because like you walked by it on the way
That sounds
back.
about right.
Like essentially we.
Yeah. So let's say that this
That
is
one.
a hive of, since it's
Also, we can
ship
delete
scale.
the baby's rabbit airlock, because baby rabbit is not, in fact, trapped anywhere.
Baby rabbit is not trapped.
Oh, baby rabbits is not trapped. It's quite the opposite.
You're trapped here with Bunny.
Dear text. There it is.
Yep.
So this will be puppeteer puppet warehouse.
Oh no! Please don't be a puppet warehouse.
Puppet warehouse. Well, given that, like, with what Brian was kind of expressing is, like, we can actually, especially since, like, it is adjacent to the city, we're kind of getting, like, second storefront that's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we have our major warehouse down below, and then this could actually be, like, a place that people can go to for, like, we're going to the mall, and we're going to have a big shopping spree.
Right. Yeah, that sounds good.
We're essentially spending our time trying to get that together. What that would be?
Well, no, I think that's not necessarily a move, because, like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
you
it wouldn't
got
be
that
a move,
surplus.
but that's what we're doing.
Yep.
But in terms
Okay.
of what our family moves can be, is
Well, no, that's fine then. You're not currently triggering a move. That's what your family is doing. That's cool. Paladins of Harmony.
Right.
Wrong. Incorrect. Help.
So I will
Please, oh God. Sorry, go on.
remind you that there's the ongoing issues, right? The Throng of Pleasure is complaining about the tainted water supply, and the agronomists are saying that they've had multiple crop failures, and that's also not great. And also, Trist Valen has apparently opened up a black market of grain.
As one does.
I want to go and see what's going on with the tainted water supply, the Throng of Pleasure.
You just want to go to the Throng of Pleasure.
Maybe, but also.
So yes is the answer.
So, yeah. How about I focus on that then?
It's like, I'm not going to deny it. Fuck it.
Okay. Well, so I think that would be more of a personal thing, right? Like it's.
Which is fine, because we can do a zoom in.
Yeah.
It's like we can do a zoom in, I guess, but I want to actually like get together a bunch of people and actually go and help with this problem. So we've heard that there's a, and we actually want to have the Paladins of Harmony now that we've secured the power node and folded in a whole bunch of people. We've got a whole bunch of new recruits basically that need a little bit of buddying, as it were. I want to go and see if I can grab a couple of them and.
I mean, honesty in marketing, but...
we're the Paladins of Harmony, man. We're very blunt. We need to go and actually send them on something to go and actually try and see if they can fix something. Like, how good are these new people? So I reckon Alice should head off with, like, a good contingent and see if we can solve this tainted water supply problem. That's a pretty good level 1 quest.
Cool.
Not at all Diablo themed. It's fine.
Yes.
Well, where is it?
So Kat, you're saying that you're doing a zoom in.
I guess so, but with a good contingent of
No, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's so. But we're making a call of.
Yeah, we're zooming in on.
So we have a checklist.
Alice.
Yep.
Yep. So. Each choose one appropriate main character to drive in the scene. They briefly say where it's happening and what's going on. So I think would this be at the like water storage tanks of the Throng of Pleasure? Right, you're there with a bunch of recruits.
That's where we're going to start, and then we'll just start checking the pipelines back to wherever their main source of water is. Yeah.
Cool. So each other player chooses one. Your main character is present for mutually beneficial reasons, or untoward ones, say which. Or your main character is elsewhere. Ask those already in the scene if they have other characters with them, or add your own. Then create a minor character, so we have a perfect excuse to have more freshly decanted people as our minor characters. Or if you have no character present, but may add one interesting facet, detail, or complication to the scene at any time. So, Brian, you're laughing. Clearly you know what you want.
Oh, yes.
Do tell.
Pick what I wanted. You're gonna pick exactly what I wanted.
You can both do it.
I am Sir Dolio. I am here to help. You, citizen, are in need of help. I shall help you.
Okay, good. That wasn't what I wanted.
Turnabout is fair play.
Hey, look, man, this is fine. This is great. Like,
so you are making a minor character.
They need to be naive and like quite, Also, remember, we've got this whole overarching thing where we actually need to be like, we've got way too many meatheads. So like, this is perfect. Everyone has to be.
Sir Dolio is no meathead. Sir Dolio is a keghead. Get it right.
Thank you.
We're gonna need to make. We're gonna make 2 minor characters here. Duplicate these.
Yeah. Fuck it. Everyone can edit and control them because that's how we roll.
Plus, we'll probably bounce around to them between. Sir Tolnio?
Well, so I will save minor character and stick it here.
It's barrel in Latin.
Oh god. Duplicate. Did it duplicate? Where did it go? There it is. Okay, so there's minor character and copy of minor character. Do with them what you will.
We're sorry. Firefox had a problem and crashed.
Ah, well, that's nice.
Oh.
But no. Carry on.
Okay. I will edit this.
And Brian just sees like this little bunny start bouncing across the screen.
Don't even joke, Cat. Not even once. Not even once.
So, creating minor characters. I'm sure there was a handout for that too.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. Minor characters.
How about we do that offline?
When you create a minor character to act as others, well, the whole point is it takes half a minute. Give them a name,
good.
decide what group they're from, and say what they look like. Done. For steal, sway, and law start at 0, give them +1 to a stat and -1 to another.
Yep.
Say what they're good at or known for. The player leading their family says what they're especially poor at.
Lore, -1. So, +1 to one stat, -1 to another
stat.
one.
Say what they're good at, and Cat will say what they're bad at.
Good at is occupying all attention in the room.
Okay, Cat, what are they bad at?
Fine detail.
So really, what I should have named this character is Ridcully.
Is what? Sorry.
Ridcully, Arch-Chancellor Ridcully.
Sorry, you cut out. I couldn't actually. And yes, that's exactly.
All right. Got Sir Dolio.
Cool. And now we're doing the same with Glycan, I assume. So,
Yes.
Lulu Laverge, I see.
I am
is the name.
Lulu Laverge. Welcome to my estate. Darling, what brings you here? What has brought you to the throng of pleasure? Can I help you? Oh, you brought a friend. I see.
Amazing. Okay, so the same things. Do the stats +1 to one, -1 to another.
Yep, she is going to have a +1 in sway, but a -1 in force. There's no need to bring violence to my estate.
What is she good at?
She is good at almost like just charisma. She's good at bringing a sense of comfort to the conversation. There's no need for any violence here. Darling, you look beautiful.
So
I love your dress.
She is so because
Dolio.
because we don't have a player running the Throng of Pleasure, I will act as the person doing so, and I will say that Lulu is bad at giving straightforward answers.
That sounds legit.
Yeah.
Which is terrible because Alice only deals with straightforward answers. This is going to be great.
Or even non-innuendo answers.
Now I must find an ideal picture of Lulu the Verge.
Oh dear. Okay, so let's set the scene, right? The small delegation of paladins led by Iles of the Blade and with Sir Dolio present.
Present and accounted for.
So is Sir Dolio one of the new recruits, or has he been around?
No.
Okay.
No. He's been around and he is a known quantity.
Cool. So Sir Dolio will be a sergeant, effectively.
Yep.
And so they arrive at the fine establishment run by Lulu Laverge that has reported this issue. That,
Yes.
Water has started to run brown from their taps, and Like, it's a disaster.
How big a disaster?
So, well,
have you ever drank
so Miss
questionable
Lulu
liquid? It's not pleasant, my dear.
Miss Lulu Leverage, tell us about this establishment.
Tell us about which way? How about
The establishment.
once more.
Where
The
we
establishment? Oh, this is a fine establishment where you can come. As you know, it's very stressful up here, but going through space, so some people need relief, if for lack of a better term. Though there are many better terms out there for it. So you can come here to relax, as it were. And but it appears that in our dining hall, the water that has come through is much less savory than the other material or the other actions that happened in our resort.
I shall save you, fair lady.
Oh,
Like,
How badly was your establishment affected by the recent
and
opening
Dolio
of
charges
doors?
at the door. Like,
sir, if I can just guide
It's
you
fine.
to where
Don't worry. Just
oh,
let him go.
dear.
He'll be back in a
Where
second.
is he going?
He will be back in a second. It's fine. It's
Oh,
fine.
dear.
He does this periodically, where it's completely fine.
nonsense! It is not fine. Have you seen the state of here? We must rescue them immediately. Why are you standing here and talking?
How
Stop
badly
talking!
how badly was yours affected by the recent opening?
Very badly. Have you seen the water? People here can't get relaxing. Why are you still here?
As you might imagine, as a place where people come to relax when they, even when they just want something nice to drink, if our establishment is known as a place of relaxation, and we find something that is less relaxing, even if it's just in the water, even if you come to have a nice cool glass of water and then it comes up being shit.
Translation, they can't cut their beer with water anymore, and that's bad for business.
So when did these problems
Sir
start?
Delio
Did
is
these actually
actually
start
following
after the-
pipelines and
They started right about at the beginning of the session, by the looks of it.
So definitely after the doors then.
Yes, it was shortly after the doors, or after we started getting our fresh air, after the alarm stopped going off, that we noticed the water. We don't know if they were somewhat intertwined, but it seems that, well, one problem fixed, another door opened, or closed, I guess, as it were.
Excellent. Well, would you mind showing me where your pipes lead out of your establishment?
Sir
You wanna go?
Delio comes back and fails to pick up Alice and is like, let's go. And
Just like pushing.
Is this the point where I turn around and remind him that I'm his superior?
nonsense! We are all paladins of the ship. There are no ranks here. Let's go.
So Lulu guides you. She takes you through the kitchen to show like this is what her water is, but then takes you like through the back doors, and we follow the pipes down this like back door area to where our actual water supply is, and shows you. It's just like I'm not sure where. I don't know why I got British all of a sudden. Darling, I'm not sure where it's coming from necessarily, but here's our water supply. Then you can
Does
see
this
it's just...
touch back into another water supply, or is
Yeah,
this, like,
you get to see
completely-
like they're the pipes that like lead down through. It's like this is as far as we're familiar with of where it came from. We're not sure where the supply necessarily gets icky, as it were.
All right, so I check the water supply there and have a look to see whether or not anything beat in that tank. Is that tank also tainted?
Well, so yes, poking your head into the tank. The smell. It's not great.
Okay, so we're going to keep following the pipes back. Thank you very much, madame. We will
Not a
take it
problem.
from
I
here.
hope all is well.
We will come back with the information if we still
Please
get
come
some.
back. Come back for more.
We shall.
Not you.
Sir Meryl's mustache.
Wow.
A mustache frown. He still has this bright, like, dim-witted smile on his face, and his mustache is like, oh.
It's like, oh, freaking face.
Yeah, like, he has this amazing maxed mustache, and it just goes. Ooh.
The emoting moustache. I am down with it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, so you follow the pipes down, and it's a bit tricky because they immediately enter this tangle of just there's oxygen and water and who knows what other gases running through these pipes, and hopefully they don't all interconnect. I am wondering what kind of a move it would be to even follow that.
Into the dark, I think.
Yeah, that fits.
So I shall lead you.
Alice might want to do it herself, but you know.
Nah, just send.
Yeah, I think
I
will do it, mostly just because I've got I can do it because I've got force and sway. So if I don't want you to do something, you're probably not going to do it. Oh, you've already done it! Oh my god! So you don't have 3D dice turned on, so I can't see it when it happens.
Have you
No,
done it?
I haven't rolled yet.
No.
But Into the Dark is steel, Cat?
Yes.
Oh, is it really? Okay, go
Yes.
for it then, because I don't have steel.
And this is a very short Into the Dark, so I think even getting one hold will be enough to get there.
Yep.
It's just what you encounter along the way that we want to find out.
So obviously we're exposed to danger en route. Space rats. So
Space rats.
space rats.
Bounce.
So Gregorio draws his sword, and like he's painted flames on it.
Okay.
Our size.
Because it's
secretly
a light
approves.
sword. but he's just painted flames on it because it's not actually a light sword.
Right, it's not quite a Paladin's regulation, but it might be soon.
Oh no, like he's very carefully painted a paladin crest.
He's a
on.
great artist.
He's a shockingly good artist, yes.
Okay.
And he charges, and like
I like how I'm not even doing anything anymore. People are just going, oh yeah, this is that's happening. But maybe they're talking about space rats now. Okay, sure.
Yes.
Space rats, go.
basically he looks down at the tangle of pipes, and like the more technically inclined characters can just see him blue screen on trying to even discover which one. So he's like, it's that one, and he charges.
Okay. There certainly are rats on the ship.
Yes.
Quite big ones as well.
Yes.
It seems like being living in a slightly lower gravity has allowed them to just be larger.
Yep.
So not Barrel, the other one.
Not barrel.
So
Barrel.
Dolio is fiercely assaulting some rats, is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Awesome.
Would you like
Because this is
to...
a tavern.
Alice is teaching him from behind and giving him hints on how he should actually be cutting and, pivoting back from the rats, because this was,
Parry.
of course, an actual training exercise. Like, the whole reason he's come is so that I can formulate him into a better soldier. So what better opportunity than to bloody him on some rats, right? So she's not participating in the battle, and she won't until she's pretty sure that he's going to actually get hurt. But he's giving very helpful advice and trying to make sure that he's actually sticking to the training.
Okay.
No. Okay.
They're just some rats. So good.
So I'm going to fiercely assault the rats.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
You must learn to smash.
You must learn to smash. This is how we smash. I am an excellent teacher. I just.
Good job. On 10,
Excellent
choose
job.
2, and GM chooses 1. So you choose to take... we're looking at Fierce Hold move.
Yes. So I'm taking something valuable from them, and it's the sewage key.
I'm sorry, are you saying that the rats dropped the sewage key?
No. I'm going to say that the sewage key was in their nest. It didn't explode from their... It totally exploded from one of their belts. One of the rats
totally
ate the
did.
sewage key.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware we were dealing with sewage ball. You know, I'll just shut up and let you guys run the game.
And we avoid further problems.
Yeah.
You don't want to frighten, intimidate, to impress them?
No, I want to frighten, intimidate, and impress Alice. Get it right.
Well, I'm neither frightened nor intimidated. But
Exactly, which is why I'm not
actually,
choosing.
I am very impressed that you managed to kill the rats and brought back a
Okay,
key that was useful
so,
to us.
but
I tattooed you on your
GM
moustache.
chooses 1. So you kill a couple of rats, and the others
Yep.
will scatter. You avoid further problems from them, and you have a rusty key that, like, somehow, like, a header pops up over it saying, "Hey, found
Yep.
sewage key." You don't know
Yep.
whatever the hell that is.
What it's for, yep.
Yeah.
But Sir Dolio has a sewage key. And
Yes.
that's what matters.
And-
He got the drops.
He did get the drop.
There is, however, collateral damage.
Oh.
That is my choice from the list. That is a thing that happens. Because when you go swinging a massive greatsword in a tangle of pipes...
You better not have gotten rat on my dress. I'm just saying. Like
That's the collateral damage.
my impressing will
Some
actually
rat juice
decrease.
splattered onto your dress.
Good work with killing the
Not,
rats.
not
With
broken
getting
pipes,
me
not
splattered in rat guts.
loss
I
of
am
water.
not okay with this.
I am tempted to just let you run this at this point, because... But I was going to say that one of the thinner pipes... it's now been split in 2, and there's hissing sound coming from it. And, like, it's way too thin a pipe to be pumping oxygen. The air smells...
That pipe.
The air smells funny.
And then you exploded.
Alice? Pipe? Fix?
Dude. I bring you down here to do one job.
Bounce, 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 bounce.
Bounce, 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 bounce.
There are no rabbits here.
His mustache bounces.
Oh no! It's my mustache! My mustache is pretty good. It's early. Bounce, bounce.
Alice takes the sash from her dress and wraps it around the pipe to fix it. They've become quite good at MacGyvering fixes since they've had to completely reboot the entire power system, and they suddenly have some engineering skill. So she's...
It sounds like you're trying to diffuse it with, I want to say, endurance or quick action, which will be +2.
Yes. So, normal roll?
It's plus steel, which I think you
I
have
don't
to...
have.
Cool. Yep, then it's normal roll.
With no applicable stats.
Correct.
Ah.
Decent.
Yeah, that's not too bad. You bought some time, but choose one. There's a cost to securing safety. The danger will soon return, or danger is still present but threatening someone or something else. I will accept the cost to securing safety being your pretty dress is ruined, because that's what we've already discussed.
Yes, well that's also true, because I just used some of it to fix a leak.
Yeah, so you just
Very
found you need
excited about
to keep tearing more and more bits of it to actually prevent the... Yep.
As is right and proper.
As is right and proper for me to ruin my dress. I feel very sad.
Okay. So following further down the pipes, now that the rats have been banished, you come across very clearly someone has welded another pipe onto the water supply.
Oh no.
And it goes off.
I follow the pipe.
I feel like this is a good way of
we
can fix this problem right now.
Yeah, this
we can literally smash that pipe off and we're done.
Oh, that sounds messy. That sounds real messy if that pipe is coming from where I think it's coming from.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a fixable problem.
Paladin solution to a paladin problem. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
It's not like we're the maintenance collective.
Yeah.
You
We really are.
That sounds like Brian setting him up for problems for himself later.
That's exactly right.
You
Oh fuck.
so you follow this
And how the sword has turned back. How the flaming sword has turned
second
back on
pipe. And I would ask if you're trying to sneak or not, but you're not because you have Sir Dorio with
does
you.
not sneak.
Yep.
He does not
Yeah.
sneak. That is.
No,
Like-
he does nothing. We're not. We're just gonna cut it. We're gonna twist it up to stop it from flowing everywhere.
Well, are you just literally cutting it there and then you're not even checking?
Literally just cutting it.
They
there and
asked
then.
us to fix the
Uh,
problem.
Holding
so
it up
I
to
will-
stop it from going
I will
any
point
further.
out before you cut, I'll point out that there will be a massive hole in the water pipe then.
No, I know. We've got to figure that out. Sure, but like
Nonsense.
So like
We
you,
have
More
welders
dressed
with us.
to
you probably don't have
hole.
welding equipment with you unless you want to somehow explain how you do.
I have a flaming sword. My flaming sword welds things.
It's
Duh.
not actually flaming.
Hey, this is
Are
just
you
mine.
saying my sword does not flame, sir? I challenge you with my flaming
The
sword.
voices in his head.
Flames right here. Actually, what's happening is I'm whacking the pipe so hard that I'm crimping. But he is totally welding it with his flaming sword.
Okay. Oh,
I'm pretty sure we're breaking Mikhail.
no. I am
No,
looking.
you're breaking the ship is what you're breaking.
You are breaking the ship just a little bit. I'm looking at tool up gear move, which is when you gear up a character, you get your usual stuff, and also surplus might aid you, and additionally you could get a group of specialists, which is essentially what Cat was doing. Right.
Okay.
Tool up move. I don't.
That's
even
a family move?
know. Gear move.
Ah, there's yet another character. Oh, my God.
Yep.
Yep.
But essentially, Serdolio is that group of specialists, just condensed
Yeah.
into one lout.
Yes.
yeah, wow.
But that is... Alright, so what do I have to do?
Nothing.
Oh,
Just that there are, in fact, rules for going, and some people from my family are coming with me.
right. So basically what happens is Sir Dolio whacks the pipe a few times and then gestures to it, and some specialists actually come up and go, "Oh, wow, your flaming sword has welded this. Could you look? Here's a sandwich."
Yep. Okay. So you... Okay, that's not even a check, right?
And
You're
Alan's
dealing
still
with the...
feeling like pretty substandard and a bit par about this. That's fine. I brought him here so he could get some real world experience.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, so the pipe is hammered into shape on one end, but there's
Yep.
still a question of where was it going and who put it here in the first place.
Alice?
Alright, so well, we fixed it. Let's keep following this pipe down and see where it goes.
Cool. And because you have Sodolo with you, by the time you get there, which is not far at all, it's like 100 meters.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Say again.
Because you have Sodolo with you, By the time you get there, and it's not far at all, maybe 100 meters of like climbing stairs and crawling through tight spots.
Everyone knows we're coming?
Everyone knows you're coming. And you are faced with several guns pointed at you.
So, what we have here is another... You did really well with the rats. And now it's time for us to pivot this up.
Okay, so there's 3 unsavory looking characters with guns pointing at you, who've taken somewhat defensive positions.
What do you think we should do in a situation like this? And I'm being very open and just literally just talking to him like this is very clearly a Paladin training exercise.
These have tainted the water supply.
But have they?
Shall not stand.
First ask the question and then attack. First ask
no questions. Questions are dangerous. You said that they are
questions of a Paladin.
Questions are awful.
Unless we ask the question.
Shut up! Shut up now!
As an aside, as Alice and Dolio are having this exchange, they're actually moving closer. Like they're facing each other.
Yeah,
but like
so
this is somewhat rehearsed.
Yes. So the locals are getting. They were freaked out to begin with because they weren't expecting paladins to show up.
Yeah.
And they just tried to assert some measure of control by going to like, shut up, stay where you are. You.
No. Sir Dolio shall not be shut up. You shall gun.
Now, before we attack the villagers, we need to ask them a question. Okay?
Exactly. I shall not be told to shut up. And you, that is no weapon. I shall give you a weapon. Give me your weapon. It is insignificant and puny, like you.
It's like, hello. As you may know, we are the Paladins of Harmony. My name is Alice. I am here on a training mission. We were trying to find out who was putting bad pipe water into good pipe water.
Okay, so it sounds to me, right? Like you're trying to diffuse the situation before it goes into a shootout.
We have fixed the bad pipe water going into the good pipe water issue, and now we would like to know who actually did that. Do you guys happen to know who attached that pipe?
So I'm going to say that this is Alice doing direction.
This is diffuse with sway, yes?
Yeah, from Alice.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't have diffuse, I don't think.
Well, the diffuse is a core move.
What is Alice's sway?
Oh.
Yes.
1.
Cool.
Good.
That's good. That's a positive number.
It is good.
So, normal roll with 1?
Yep. And let's see how they take it. Okay. You've bought some time, so they don't immediately just shoot Centauri, but choose one. There's a cost, securing safety, the danger will still return, or danger is still present but threatening someone or something else.
Cat, totally call for aid. Have Dolio help you.
A god.
You want this 7 to go down to a 6?
That is an option.
Something.
Dolio, you tell him.
Yep.
You told me to
Not so much, no? No.
Well, obviously the situation, like, this is the problem. The situation is certainly there, like, so, but it's just reduced for now.
Okay. So we'll soon return, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they lower
one
the...
of them actually runs off.
Unless
the more crucial one runs off to get help, but the idiots are standing there and handing up.
No, I will say that they lower the guns a bit, that they're not quite willing to just shoot paladins, but the guns are still there.
Yeah.
We don't know what you're talking about, says one of them.
Correct. We are investigating. We do not expect you to investigate. You shall help us. You are now deputies.
They look at
I am down with
each other,
here.
even slightly, even more confused. And then, Glycan, I would like to drag you into this by going that Tristwalen pops up.
Okay.
Because, of course, it's her operation.
I wouldn't say that, but okay, no, I can see.
Well, she's involved with this operation, rather.
involved.
And these three idiots waving guns around clearly aren't up to talking their way out of this.
So where she popped up? Where did she pop up? Where is she?
When they went and
Was
called
she
for help,
just, like,
they came back with her.
She was in the same room, but behind something, actually
Just
walking on a thing with bunnies.
walking off thing with bunnies. Oh, if Triss pops up, she would essentially, like, seeing that everyone's distracted, Triss would just try and sneak her way out of there because Triss doesn't want to get in trouble.
Right, that's the other thing. Very good, very good. Cool. Well then, Alice
She's
will.
gonna follow the bunny path back.
Alice will then see someone in the darkness just disappearing around the corner, and that'll be that for trying to involve Glycan in the current scene.
And then I'll turn around to Brian and I'm like, you fetch, and point him at the thing.
Onwards!
So now
Evil doer, you shall face justice!
Oh god.
And Sir Dolio's the sneaking figure.
Yes, Sir Dolio is now being sent after the thing that I saw in the shadow.
Because the one command that Dolio will unabashedly obey is
Is
fetch.
fetched.
So,
It's how I train my paladins. let's be
yes,
really
I will
honest.
say that Sir Dolio is better at fine detail, like, following the trail or listening to where the person he's following is going.
100%.
You just keep
No one ever.
thunders down the corridor.
He is fetching a thing from a.
So you will be rolling with a disadvantage.
Yes, I won't.
What
What am I rolling?
Into the dark again, I think.
Oh, good.
You just thundering down the dark passages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Into the
Triss-
dark.
I don't even
Triss saw
think.
danger and Triss was immediately just.
Yeah, Triss needs to roll. And somehow you.
Triss,
So I'm gonna. Oh, I'm just tempted to. No. This is good. Sir Dolios.
So you get to choose one.
Yeah.
Just two.
He is totally lost.
Okay.
sent him running after this mysterious sound, and he ran with
He
intent,
ran,
and has
he
no idea where
found
he
the
ran
thing.
to.
And it takes
but-
longer
but
than
he-
expected. Because you have to choose two.
Yes, and it takes longer than expected.
Okay.
But
cool.
he did find Trish.
Trist.
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 Yep. He eventually corners Trist.
I mean, let's be fair. Trish is sneaking away and actually beats Dolio coming the other way.
How did you even? And like Triss has like a good mental image because she's good at like sneaking around. So she's just trying to figure out how
Okay.
this Scooby-Doo door situation
Exactly.
happened.
Yeah. So all the criminals, because clearly that's what they are. They're doing something, don't you hear? They look at and listen to Sidolo run off, and then they reevaluate the current disposition of sights and point their guns at Alice again. It's like, just drop the knife, drop the
And
big sticker.
scene.
And scene, yes. Somehow,
That's
Brian
amazing.
I have been waiting for this.
got Cat into trouble by not even being there. That's some talent.
You know what? It's an.
I'm down with everything that's happened. This is going exactly as I expected it to.
Oh no, Cat. Let's be fair. fair, both of our scenes have gone exactly the way we expected them to with the other person involved. There's no surprises here.
Okay. So this was great.
So hopefully next week.
Hopefully next week.
Yes.
No?
Just a side note, to keep things in theme, the name of the relaxation resort is Polly's Pocket.
Nice. Nice.
To keep theme of 90s toys.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you for playing. I know Kat has to run, so let's wrap it up and continue next week.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Sir Dolio shall return!
Darling.